Hello everybody and welcome to stage 13 of the Vuelta. Today the sprinters will be up for it on the Spanish roads on what is the longest stage of the Tour at more than 203 kilometres between Belmez and Villanueva de Serena. It's a last chance before the mountains for the sprinters, so they need to shine. No difficulties on the stage and the breakaways will try, but the teams with the sprinters will want to make sure their riders get their chance. It's a classic scenario on this 13th stage, with a breakaway getting clear from the opening kilometres with the three teams invited to this Vuelta. Burgos BH are represented by Diego Rubio, Euskaltel have Luis Angel Mate up front, and Caja Rural have faith in Alvaro Quadros. With a bonus sprint 11 kilometres from the finish at Don Benito, the teams with the sprinters will have to put the work in towards the end of the stage. But for most, today is about recovery, ahead of a big weekend in the mountains after a start to the week that has been raced at a crazy pace. We average only about 39 kilometres an hour over the first 100k. The gap is controlled by the peloton. The SKPs had a 3-minute lead, but 100 kilometres from the finish it's down to 2 minutes 30. At the front of the peloton, several teams work together alongside the day's favourites, Deceuninck Quick-Step with Fabio Jakobsen. DSM Groupama FDJ and Lotto Soudal are all contributing stints. The breakaway riders don't have experience of going big at Grand Tours. Indeed, only Luis Angel Mate has ever won anything as a professional, though he hasn't scored any successes since the 2011 Route du Sud in France. Nicknamed the Lynx, Mate is taking part in his 10th Vuelta, while Rubio is competing for the 4th year running. As for Quadros, it is his first Grand Tour. It's a sleepy stage, though the gap between the escape group and the peloton yo-yos, though everyone is woken up as the wind puts in an appearance on the long straights.
This race is suddenly starting to kick off. It seems like there might be a crosswind possibility, and there's a big acceleration. 60.5 kilometres to go. But look at the split. A second echelon is about to form as the riders realise that they cannot close the gap on the front group of riders who are going away. And in the group is Caruso. Yates is in there. All of the Jumbo-Visma team.
And look at this. The peloton now into 3 lines, 3 different groups.
Well, Bernal was right at the back of the group when it went. He had been sitting at the rear of this peloton all day, and now you see the peloton in 2 distinct groups. They're about to catch the breakaway. There are just 22 seconds up the road.
It didn't cause too much damage as everybody reintegrated the peloton after chasing for a few kilometres. The leading riders only have an advantage of a handful of seconds under 55 kilometres from the finish. After resisting for a few kilometres, the breakaway is over under 30k from the finish. The sprinters team shift into gear in order to prepare for both the intermediate sprint and the final sprint. Yet the Don Benito intermediate sprint takes the riders by surprise, and Fabio Jakobsen, accompanied by Bert van der Berg, crossed the line on their own. The Deceuninck Quick-Step riders are to the fore, and Jakobsen has several teammates in front of him. Victory looks certain for the Dutchman.
Jakobsen has a problem, he's gone. Do Deceuninck Quick-Step know that they have lost their sprinter? Who's going to win this stage? This is so messy. Here goes Matteo Trentin. Trentin is launching for the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be a photograph right on the finish line. It's a victory for Deceuninck Quick-Step. They take the victory right on the line.
I went flat out in the sprint. Thankfully the radio was there to tell me I had free rein as Fabio was held up. I don't know why. It's an incredible team and they set it up on a plate for me. I don't know how to thank them, but I give them 1,000 thanks for what they did for me today. Florian Sénéchal scoring a first Vuelta victory as Deceuninck Quick-Step continue to dominate the sprints. Sénéchal beating Matteo Trentin, who was 4th yesterday and 2nd today. Still no wins this season for the former European champion. Denez is on the podium again in 3rd. In the GC, no changes today despite the echelons and a tough finish. The favourites finished together, and that means Odd Christian Eiking is still in the overall lead before a difficult weekend in the mountains. The green jersey is still in Jakobsen's possession. He picked up points in the intermediary sprint, 20 important points, and he has a comfortable 86-point lead over Magnus Cort Nielsen. No mountain points up for grabs today. Damiano Caruso of Bahrain Victorious will try to defend his jersey this weekend from Romain Bardet. Egan Bernal suffered today, notably with the echelons, but the Colombian still has the white jersey for Best Young Rider. Tomorrow's the start of a busy weekend with the 14th stage from Don Benito to Pico Villuercas, 165 kilometres and 2 first category climbs before a finish at altitude after more than 14 kilometres at 6% on average. Eiking will have to ride well to hold off Roglic, who will want to reclaim the red jersey.